Yang terhormat, Ketua Pusat Studi ASEAN Universitas Udayana, Bapak Ana Agung Bagus Surya Widyanugraha, dan yang kami hormati seluruh peserta dan panitia pada hari ini. Selamat datang dalam acara ASEAN Marine Environmental Protection Conference and Exhibitions 2018. Adapun hari ini adalah rangkaian acara hari kedua yang pada kesempatan kali ini kita memiliki pembicara muda yang inspiratif dan akan ada suatu karya yang dibuat oleh anak muda Indonesia yang akan dipresentasikan dan langsung dinilai oleh juri nantinya. Untuk itu, adapun acara kita pada hari ini akan dimulai dengan sambutan dari dosen Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik Universitas Udayana yang sekaligus akan membuka acara kita pada hari ini. Untuk itu kepada Bapak Ana Agung Bagus Surya Widyanugraha, disilakan.
Om Swastiastu. Selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Nama budaya, salam kebajikan. Baik, terima kasih untuk waktu yang diberikan kepada kami dari Pusat Studi ASEAN. Yang pertama, saya ucapkan yang terhormat kepada Bapak Duta Besar Pak Sekutom, kemudian ada Bapak Sekjen Kerjasama ASEAN, Bapak Kegiatan, kemudian pada seluruh peserta dan juga panitia yang hadir pada hari kedua konferensi kita ini. Mohon maaf sebelumnya, karena seharusnya yang hadir pada pagi hari ini untuk memberikan sambutan adalah Ketua Pusat Studi ASEAN kami yang juga koordinator program studi, yaitu Bapak peserta. Karena ada beberapa kegiatan di kampus yang tidak bisa dihindari, maka beliau memberikan wewenang kepada saya untuk memberikan sambutan pada pagi hari ini. Baik, sekali lagi saya ucapkan selamat datang kepada seluruh peserta di hari kedua ini. Puja dan puji syukur saya panjatkan kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena atas izin beliaulah kita bisa berkumpul pada hari ini di hari kedua setelah kemarin di hari pertama kita mengalami hari yang panjang sebenarnya sampai jam 6 sore, tapi terima kasih untuk masih bisa bertahan 6 sore. Seperti yang telah kita bahas kemarin, pada hari pertama permasalahan lingkungan, khususnya masalah laut yang muncul dari adanya volume sampah yang mengkhawatirkan, telah menjadi musibah dan saat ini dibahas tidak hanya pada level domestik saja, tetapi juga mulai meningkat di level regional bahkan global. Plastik yang sebelumnya menjadi sesuatu yang sangat mungkin membantu kita dalam kehidupan, yang membuat hidup kita menjadi lebih praktis, namun tanpa kita sadari ternyata penggunaan plastik tidak dibarengi dengan kesadaran ataupun antisipasi atas dampaknya, menimbulkan sesuatu yang tidak bisa kita bayangkan sampai dengan hari ini. Jika kita melihat, kita tarik ke belakang beberapa hari ini, kita melihat beberapa pemberitaan tentang bagaimana dampaknya khususnya pada kehidupan laut yang sudah kita katakan bisa katakan tercemar dengan sampah. Biota laut yang kita miliki atau kehidupan laut kita itu terganggu dengan adanya polusi dari sampah plastik ini. Berbagai upaya telah berusaha dilakukan. Salah satunya adalah bagaimana saat ini Kementerian Luar Negeri dan bersama kami dari Pusat Studi ASEAN mengadakan acara ASEAN Marine Protection and Exhibition. Ini adalah salah satu upaya kita untuk melakukan penanggulangan, membangkitkan kesadaran kita bahwa ada permasalahan yang harus kita hadapi. Dari itu maka kita sadari mungkin langkah ke depan yang kita ambil, kita harus mulai dari satu langkah kecil hari ini. Mudah-mudahan nantinya bisa menginspirasi ke depannya. Mudah-mudahan bisa memunculkan ide-ide baru bagaimana kita bisa melakukan atau memproteksi setidaknya lingkungan laut kita dan lingkungan kita secara keseluruhan. Jadi saya ucapkan sekali lagi selamat datang dalam acara ini. Mudah-mudahan nanti pada pembahasan kita bisa menemukan ide-ide baru bagaimana kedepannya mungkin Kementerian Luar Negeri bisa mendapatkan feedback dari diskusi ini mengenai perumusan kebijakan apa yang perlu dilakukan, dan kami dari Pusat Studi ASEAN Universitas Udayana juga terus berupaya untuk meningkatkan dalam hal pengembangan riset dan kemudian kerjasama dengan PSA atau Pusat Studi ASEAN yang lain yang ada di Indonesia, yang saya kalau tidak salah jumlahnya sudah 50 lebih yang ada di sana. Mungkin bisa masalah ini kita angkat di forum-forum PSA yang kemudian bisa menjadi bahan kajian kami bersama. Jadi itu yang mungkin bisa saya sampaikan pada waktu ini. Saya tidak akan berpanjang lebar karena acara kita saya lihat di dalam acara juga lumayan padat dan kita akan lebih berfokus pada substansi nantinya. Akhir kata saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada seluruh peserta dan panitia yang sudah bekerja dari awal kita menginisiasi acara ini. Sudah sangat intens sekali kita berhubungan dengan Kementerian Luar Negeri dari Pusat Studi ASEAN, dan akhirnya kita mudah-mudahan acara ini bisa berjalan dengan lancar sampai nanti bisa selesai dengan lebih baik, kemudian kita mendapatkan konklusi dari semua yang didiskusikan hari ini. Terima kasih. Saya tutup untuk sambutan hari ini dengan ucapan selamat pagi dan Om Santi.
Teman-teman semua, Bapak Ibu sekalian, selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Pertama-tama mari kita panjatkan puji dan syukur kehadirat Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa, karena berkat rahmat-Nya kita dapat berkumpul kembali di sini dalam kegiatan ASEAN Environmental Innovation Alliance sebagai bagian dari rangkaian kegiatan acara Marine Environmental Protection Conference and Exhibition yang telah berlangsung sejak kemarin. Saya lihat teman-teman semua masih semangat semua ya, karena saya yakin bahwa ini kegiatan yang sangat bermanfaat. Sedikit atau banyak kita pasti akan dapat manfaat yang kita dapatkan dari acara hari ini dan juga yang kemarin. Selanjutnya atas nama Direktur Jenderal Kerjasama ASEAN, Bapak Duta Besar Jose Tavares menyampaikan salam hormatnya. Mohon maaf jika beliau tidak bisa datang hari ini karena dengan Ibu Menlu ada acara yang lain di Surabaya. Kami menyampaikan penghargaan dan apresiasi setinggi-tingginya buat teman-teman dari Universitas Udayana, utamanya juga dari Pusat Studi ASEAN yang bekerja sama dengan kami dalam penyelenggaraan acara ini. Kami yakin bahwa acara ini dapat memberikan manfaat bagi peningkatan pemahaman, kesadaran kita semua, tentunya bisa ditularkan kepada kesadaran masyarakat, dimulai dari terdekat lingkungan kita seperti pernah saya sampaikan kemarin, dari keluarga kita, dari tempat kita belajar, tempat sekolah, dan juga lingkungan secara umum, khususnya terkait penanggulangan masalah sampah, utamanya di sampah laut yang sekarang memang semakin menjadi perhatian bersama. Tidak hanya perhatian negara kita, tidak hanya perhatian kita sendiri, tapi sudah menjadi perhatian dunia internasional, karena itu menjadi masalah bersama kemudian. Jadi Bapak Ibu hadirin, teman-teman semua yang saya hormati, isu pengelolaan sampah laut itu merupakan isu penting di tingkat nasional, regional maupun internasional. Di level nasional seperti yang kita ketahui, kita 71% dari luas wilayah kita itu lautan, mencapainya sekitar 5,8 juta kilometer persegi. Dan Indonesia juga negara kepulauan terbesar di dunia. Otomatis juga dengan garis pantai yang terbesar, kita juga sekarang posisi Indonesia sebagaimana kita sudah ketahui ada di dua samudra. Jadi tidak hanya geostrategis, geopolitik saja, tapi ternyata juga ini menjadi lahan atau titik temu pergerakan termasuk polutan yang tidak juga mengenal batas negara. Sekarang dari rumah kita hari ini kita buang sampah misalnya plastik, mungkin 5-10 tahun lagi sudah ada di Eropa plastik yang kita buang itu. Dan dalam perjalanannya sampah-sampah plastik. Tadi pagi saya sempat juga berjalan sebentar di pantai. Masyarakat, komunitas dan juga pemerintah setempat saya lihat itu bekerja sama-sama ya bersihin pantai. Karena apa? Bukan hanya sebagai keindahan, tapi juga itu kita semua tinggal di Bali. Yang sekarang ini di Bali, seperti saya juga kemarin bilang, kita bersyukur tinggal di Bali, teman-teman harus bersyukur juga tinggal di Bali, karena ternyata komunitas internasional juga sangat pentingkan Bali. Bali juga sudah dikenal sejak puluhan ratusan tahun lalu ya, termasuk juga dari luar, dari negara-negara asing, dari wisatawan asing. Mereka cinta dengan Bali, dengan budayanya, dengan lingkungannya, dengan keindahan, kebersihan dan lain sebagainya. Sehingga ketika ada sesuatu hal yang mungkin menjadi perhatian mereka soal antara lain soal sampah di laut, bagaimanapun juga laut atau pantai masih menjadi komoditas atau menjadi hal utama yang menarik para wisatawan asing ke sini. Jadi kami harapkan kita semua sama-sama sebagai penduduk Bali di sini, saya yakin teman-teman juga ingin juga berbuat sesuatu, ingin juga menjaga keindahan kebersihan Bali ini, kepentingan kita bersama. Indonesia juga seperti teman-teman ketahui, kita sudah menunjukkan komitmen ya untuk mengurangi masalah sampah, utamanya sampah plastik, karena yang namanya sampah plastik mungkin ratusan tahun baru bisa terurai. Dan kemarin dalam paparan para panelis disebutkan begitu banyaknya sampah plastik yang dulu mungkin 10-20 tahun lalu plastik itu merupakan kantong kresek itu masuk ke kenyamanan ya, menggantikan keranjang belanja. Saya pernah masih ingat tuh dulu sering waktu kecil diajak belanja sama orang tua saya, selalu bawa kantong keranjang belanja yang selalu dipakai tiap hari kalau belanja ke pasar gitu. Cuman ketika ada industri plastik atau kantong plastik semakin populer, itu keranjang ditaruh di rumah. Tapi sekarang kayak saya lihat sekarang sudah kembali lagi tuh, ibu-ibu kita semua membawa juga kantong atau belanjaan yang portable ya, bisa dilipat lagi kemudian kita bawa kemana-mana untuk mengurangi plastik itu. Teman-teman juga mungkin sudah paham, belum lama ini bulan Oktober kita ke Bali menjadi tuan rumah kegiatan ASEAN konferensi laut kita yang kelima, yang membahas berbagai masalah dari sektor kemaritiman, konservasi maritim, pengurangan sampah plastik, dan juga keamanan maritim, pengelolaan perikanan dan hal-hal terkait lainnya. Itu kemarin secara resmi kita dihadiri 1.900 peserta, walaupun Pak dari KKP sampaikan kemarin sampai 3.000 orang yang hadir pada acara itu dari seluruh berbagai dunia itu. Itu menunjukkan bahwa Indonesia terus berinisiatif di tataran internasional untuk terus menjadi prime mover juga dengan negara-negara lain. Jadi kita juga menunjukkan kepada dunia internasional bahwa kita tuh komit, kita tuh peserta di situ bersama komunitas internasional menanggulangi permasalahan-permasalahan, termasuk permasalahan sampah di dunia ini, tidak hanya di Indonesia. Di tingkat kawasan juga pada East Asia Summit tahun 2017 kita pernah menyelenggarakan konferensi untuk plastic waste in the sea. Itu dihadiri oleh semua pihak juga berbagai kawasan. Indonesia juga menyampaikan langkah-langkah dalam penanggulangan masalah tersebut. Kita sudah punya peraturan hukum itu, yaitu Perpres nomor 16 tahun 2017 tentang kebijakan kelautan Indonesia. Kita juga punya National Plan of Action on Marine Plastic Debris 2017-2025. Dan juga kita terus menggalang kampanye combating marine plastic debris serta reduction plastic bag production and use. Sebentar lagi akan kita lihat Mbak Melati dalam youth talk nanti bagaimana dalam usianya masih sangat muda, begitu cintanya dengan Bali juga tentunya, dan juga punya passion yang banyak. Saya yakin bisa menginspirasi teman-teman nanti. Direktorat Jenderal Kerja sama ASEAN juga pada kegiatan yang our konferensi di Bali juga kita punya side event juga yang membahas masalah-masalah kemaritiman. Dan baru saja kemarin pada ASEAN Summit Intersection Controlling Marine Plastic itu sudah bisa difinalisasi kesepakatan terkait dengan combating marine plastic debris. kesepakatan itu diharapkan memanfaatkannya itu menjadi suatu panduan, guideline dalam rangka meningkatkan komunikasi dan koordinasi, kolaborasi dengan negara-negara ASEAN khususnya. Karena kita nggak bisa kerja sendiri, melatih nggak bisa kerja sendiri, harus juga didukung oleh semua orang. Saya yakin kesadaran itu semua sudah ada. Nah, tinggal bagaimana menggerakkan si kesadaran itu menjadi gerakan, menjadi tindakan nyata. Gak usah jauh-jauh mungkin ya. Ketika kita lihat plastik atau sampah plastik di laut, itu kan awalnya dari rumah ya, dari kita yang mungkin masih ada teman-teman, keluarga, saudara yang kita kenal itu membuang sampah atau plastik sembarangan, yang kemudian pada akhirnya ke laut kemudian terus menyebar ke seluruh dunia. Kemudian si sampah yang kita buang hari ini 5-10 tahun lagi udah nggak tahu kayak gimana ke sampahnya. Jadi seperti juga kita dengar teman-teman semua dari paparan narasumber kemarin itu, sekali lagi masalah sampah laut itu merupakan permasalahan internasional, merupakan solusi bersama dari berbagai pihak, tidak hanya pemerintah tapi juga peranan para pelaku bisnis, LSM, akademisi, lembaga tiga, masyarakat umum itu menjadi key player, pemain kunci untuk penanganan masalah sampah di laut di berbagai negara ini. Jadi tidak hanya memerlukan pendekatan lintas pemangku kepentingan, tapi juga lintas generasi. Pembinaan mengenai wawasan maritim perlu kita terus lakukan ya, mungkin dari level SD gitu, dari teman adik-adik kita yang paling kecil. Teman-teman dari Udayana mungkin punya program nanti untuk melakukan edukasi ke level mungkin dari taman kanak-kanak ya secara rutin bekerja sama dengan LSM dengan melatih terus melakukan kampanye itu. Apalagi juga teman-teman ini sebagai pemuda, sebagai agent of change bisa lebih mendorong perubahan gaya hidup yang lebih ramah lingkungan nantinya. Apalagi dalam era kebebasan informasi pada saat ini ya, teknologi mengubah pola interaksi masyarakat. Sekarang teman-teman udah pakai Instagram, pakai Twitter, bisa followernya mungkin berapa puluhan atau ratusan ribu. Gaya generasi milenial yang kemudian lebih santai tapi juga lebih peduli lingkungan itu sangat mempengaruhi tren atau pola interaksi kita ya. Manfaatkan teman-teman platform-platform media itu, dan semua interaksi itu saya yakin ke depan itu akan lebih semakin intens. Jadi dulu ya kalau misalnya kita lihat apapun itu ketika suatu diviralkan dan mungkin didukung oleh semua orang itu kan menjadi perhatian bersama. Mungkin pemerintah yang awalnya kurang aware atau diperhatikan tapi tidak menjadi prioritas, tapi ketika diviralkan itu menjadi prioritas kemudian. Jadi the power of media, the power of social media itu sangat kuat. Dan saya yakin teman-teman yang setiap hari update status, foto suatu kegiatan, mengkampanyekan hal-hal yang positif itu menjadi suatu hal yang sangat-sangat menentukan buat kita semua. Jadi sekali lagi Bapak Ibu saya hormati, tidak berpanjang lebar, kita juga akan lanjut dengan acara lain yang sangat menarik. Jadi saya akhiri sambutan ini dengan sekali lagi menyampaikan apresiasi kepada Bapak Direktorat Udayana dan seluruh jajaran yang mendukung kegiatan ini bisa berlangsung dengan sangat baik sekali. Semoga kerjasama kita ini terus berjalan baik dan semakin baik ke depan untuk kepentingan kita bersama dan juga memberi manfaat yang lebih luas kepada seluruh masyarakat. Demikian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This event. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to proceed to the awaited session for today, Inspirational Youth Talk. The Inspirational Youth Talk is aimed to hear the ideas, innovation, and youth perspective to global issues, especially for this event about marine and seas. And for today, the talk will be delivered by Melati Waisint and Ahmad Fatuni Wibowo. Melati Waisint is the founder of Bye Bye Plastic Bags. She also had mobilized communities in record-breaking beach cleanup, spoken at the United Nations, and largest oceans conferences. Ahmad Fatuni Wibowo is an international relations student from Udayana University. He is also as Indonesia's representative of Youth Ambassador Asian 2017. Fatoni is also active in several debate competitions and had achieved several awards. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please give applause to Melati Waisen and Ahmad Fatoni Wibowo.
One more time, with all the energy you have, okay? Bye-bye. Amazing. Okay, so before I go into my presentation, on the count of 3, I'm going to ask everybody in the room to take a deep breath in, okay? Can we do that? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in. And out. And we're going to do it one more time, but this time I want to hear you taking a deep breath in. High school students are the best because the whole room goes... Okay, I want to hear it the same from you, the same energy, okay? 1, 2, 3, take a deep breath in. And out. Okay, I like to do this mainly for 2 reasons. Okay, I do this on all the stages I go to. The first reason is because it's a nice way for everybody to calm down, for me to get rid of my butterflies and my nervousness. But the second reason is the real reason why I do it. And it's because it's a strong reminder that 70% of the oxygen we breathe comes from the ocean. Yeah? From these little tiny, tiny, tiny phytoplankton that float on the surface of the ocean. And they produce our oxygen. I don't know. Next. How many of you guys have social media? Facebook, Instagram, okay, all of you, right? How many of you have seen the article that by 2050 there will be more plastic than fish in our oceans? The negative effect that plastic is having on our environment. And over the past 2 days you've heard from people who study this for years. This was in Majalaya? Majalaya, yeah, I'm saying it right. Okay, in Majalaya. And they thought that this was a tsunami coming, but it was just the floods of the rainy season taking all the plastic out. And this was just a couple of weeks, 1,000 plastic pieces inside a whale that washed up dead. Fish. Okay, who here likes to eat plastic? No. But the animals cannot tell the difference, right? And so this was really another wake-up call. And 5 years ago, at the age of 10 and 12 years old, with me and my sister, we said enough is enough, okay? We had a lesson at school where we were learning about significant people, change makers. You remember learning about Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Ibu Kartini, plastic bag free. And so today, 5 years forward, we have a lot that we have learned. But what was mentioned before, we cannot do it by ourselves. And so today I brought along some team members.
Okay, hi guys, how are you? So today we have 3 lessons for you. The first lesson, a cool quote with you, like teamwork makes the dream work, and that's so true, and also for Bye Plastic, to take action, to refuse plastic and inspire others to make this change as well. And we also have these in Indonesia, and they educate them about the importance of collaborating with you guys to inspire more young students. When we look at the next pillar is One Island.
Free conference, right? And all of you nodded your head when you said, yeah, I saw the article, more plastic than fish. Yes, I know, I saw it, I like, I share. So you know. But then ask the question why you still use it, right?
Yeah, like mostly we use this plastic bag only 5 minutes, and then we throw it away, and then it ends up in the landfill. Or we have this project called Pilot Village, where we give alternative bags to the local village and try to make this plastic bag free, which is an amazing thing. When we look at, we also have fiber plastic bags global. Milati, can you turn around for a moment? There you can see all the different fiber plastic bags.
Next is lesson number 2. Think outside the box. Be creative. Melati and her sister Isabel had the great idea to organize Bali's biggest beach cleanup in 2017 and 2018, where most hundreds of people from many different backgrounds, such as kids, students, workers, NGOs, and many more, came together to clean up our home island, Bali. So you have to believe in yourself and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do. And trust yourself, that's the key of the being creative.
Okay, next.
Oh yeah, my turn again. So I just mentioned Plastic Bags Global, and we are, as I said, different part, and you can go on our website and look if in your city is already bioplastic bags created, and if not, you can create your bioplastic bags in your city and get more people to join you. And if you are living in Bali, what I imagine, then you can join us, the bioplastic bags team, and we can make together a great change and make Bali a cleaner place.
Okay, amazing. So, I think this is one of our most favorite youth-driven campaign. We do so much projects and a lot of energy goes into it, but there are also a lot of challenges, right? Some of the things, for example, motivation on the long term, because we're all teenagers. We don't always want to go to the beach to clean up. We don't always want to go to collect biggest challenges, and this might all interest, and all the reasons why we couldn't do it or the reasons why we could do it. So that was a challenge. I always say it's a little bit like dancing with the politicians. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And it's like the cha-cha-cha or the dance, you know? So it's a lot of understanding and learning curves that we have to go through. But I have a video that I would like to share that can explain it much better than I can in 3 minutes. So, enjoy.
And founders of Bali Plastic Bag. For the past 5 years, we've been on a mission to make Bali plastic bag free. Here's a quick recap of what has happened. In 2014, we signed an MOU with the governor of Bali, agreeing that we would work together to ask the people of Bali to say no to plastic bags by Jan 2016. In 2015, Bapak Mangku Pastika signed a surat edaran announcing Bali's commitment to be plastic-free by 2018. We celebrated these commitments made by the governor, and we've shared them all around the world, from TED Global in London to the United Nations in New York. Isabel and I have spoken at numerous events in front of thousands of government officials and stakeholders. Not to mention that our videos have been shared and viewed by 12 million people from all around the world. So, here we are, less than 2 months away from 2018. The world is watching. So now what? We believe an easy first step to reducing plastic waste is to implement a paying for plastic policy, which is exactly what we suggested to all of Bali's bupatis and Jenderal earlier this year at one of our stakeholder meetings. And while it was well received and given support, there has been a lack of follow-through. It seems that everybody is pointing fingers, waiting for someone else to take action. Why? We wanted to get to the bottom of this, so we looked into the possible barriers. Could it be a legal barrier? No. We know that Bali has the authority and the autonomy to start charging for plastic bags. The local government can formulate their own regulation based on Act Number 18 of 2008 and Act Number 81 of 2011. Plus, the mayor of Banjarmasin has already completely banned plastic bags since 2016. So we know that this is possible. Is it impractical or too expensive? Well, if 40 other countries have already applied bans, taxes, and levies on plastic bags, it must be practical. It actually makes good economic sense for Bali to do it, which is what the Bali bupatis and the Jenderal agreed to when they signed the Surat Dukungan stating that plastic costs more to the economy and society than it
what do you think? Can we do it? Yes, we can. And actually, it's pretty exciting because recently, and for those of you that are in Bali and based here, we've seen this regulation come out that by 1st of January 2019, Denpasar City will be plastic bag free. Now that's exciting. That's the right step. To be honest, and I say this in a jokingly way, we don't get so excited by government statements anymore, right? We say, okay, we have the government taking action, we have the students taking action, but our next question are Bali-based businesses to join the movement to say no to plastic. So do all of you know what a pledge is? Like a pledge, a commitment, comes in the form of a paper, a business can see, and they say, okay, when they want to eliminate it. Yeah, so very tailor-made by the business. We put this plank in their business. If it's a hotel lobby, a plank like this. If it's in the restaurant, a sticker. TripAdvisor? Yeah, whenever you enter a restaurant, you see the sticker and you say, you count how many stars or the ratings, This is like it, but for plastic. So when you enter, you can see, they've joined the commitment to be plastic bag free. And the business is proud, and the customer will want to say no to plastic as well. So they go to places like this. So it's the win-win situation, right? But since July, we're now at 400 locations all around Bali that have signed the commitment and sent it back. And our end of the year goal, which is not a lot of time left, our end of the year goal is to have 1,000 locations on the island joining us to leave the plastic industry. So it's very exciting, and it's very powerful as well, because lesson number 3, persistence and commitment is key. You have to walk your talk, right? And all of you are super young and bright. I can see it. And now you all breathed in. I can hear it in your breathing. You're smart. You know it. You have access to knowledge on your fingertips, on your phones. Yeah, you're constantly right now, right? It's up to us. And I think that's where I want to end it today with, we started at 10 and 12 with one message. And we wanted to make Bali plastic. Meaning, we've learned that there are so many other young, bright people around the world who are doing the same or who want to do the same. Right? So we have embodied the message that kids can do things. Right? So we have a huge responsibility, but it's also such an exciting time to be alive because us youth are of the future. Yeah? Thank you. So I'm not entirely sure how the question and answers are going to work. Is that now or later? Because, I don't know.
So the questions and answer session will be included after Mr. Ahmad Fatoni Wibowo speaking. Thank you so much. Please give applause to Marty Weisen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to proceed for Mr. Ahmad Fatoni Wibowo as the Youth Ambassador of ASEAN. For Mr. Ahmad Fatoni Wibowo, time is yours.
Honor of speech and maybe we were wishing to have more talk later. Maybe I would ask something later on. But yes, Indonesia, yeah. And do you guys know that the whale was died because of the plastics, right? And do you guys feel annoyed when you were eating and there's bones choking on you, like on your throat, in your throat, and it feels equally to the whale because they want to eat their food, but they don't know the differences between food and plastic, and those plastic are choking the whale and bring it to die. And we believe that they cannot help themselves. They cannot choose their food, and they cannot survive. And based on the study brought by the Dr. Richard Thompson, that there are 400,000 items of plastics per square kilometers in the oceans. Imagine if per square kilometers, and we have a lot of oceans in the world, which means there are a lot of plastics in our oceans. And 75% of them are at the surface of the oceans. So the surface might end up in the beach, which we can clean up. but 25% of them are end up in the seabed, which we cannot clean up afterwards. So what can we do as the youth? Is only one actually, is to reduce the plastic bag. The Bali plastic bags actually has the first movement in Bali, right, to reducing the plastic bags. And I personally reducing plastic bags. Some of you might think that this only one, it's just only one plastic bag, it's okay, right? I mean, I'm only using this one, it's only once, it's okay. But it's, imagine if once plastic bags, you are using only one plastic bags, and we have 200 people here. That means we are using about 200 plastic bags in the day. So in a week, we have like 1,400 or something, and that's massive. It's not only just one that you think. So it should start by yourself. It should start by changing your habit, right? So changing your habit is not that difficult. It is very easy. First start that I personally did is saying no to those vendors, to those cashier, to those people who are offering me plastic bags. I just buy a bottle of water. Why should I have the plastic bags? I just buy the snacks. Why should I have the plastic bags? And also the single-use straws. So I personally bring my personal kit everywhere. So this is the very simple and easiest way to reduce the plastic. Yes, thank you very much. So these are a set of, I have the spoon, I have the fork, I have chopsticks, and I have some of straws. So these are the straws. It might cost a little more, but it will long last forever. The plastics are long last forever, but you only use it once. But buying this kind of stainless steel, like you can buy for 20,000, it will long last forever and it will cost nothing to the environment, right? So it is starting by yourself, it is starting by you, and it would be make our environment better. Yes, our environment right now is like having the hard time. We have a lot of plastics, but doesn't mean like we are worsening the scenario, we are worsening the current conditions. So what we are doing right now is to make it better, right? So by starting, by yourself, starting using plastics, that means we are helping the environment. By these 200 people in this room itself, we can make the Bali more better, right? Maybe that's all. So actually, I want to ask questions. If you are saying to buy plastic, is there any like alternative solutions that you offer? Are you like giving away the total bag or something to people?
Yeah, so we are all about saying no to plastic bags, and actually one of the questions we get a lot is, well, if we say no to plastic bags, what are we supposed to use? Okay, how many of you here bring your own bag right now? Have your own bag right now with you? I brought 2 bags with me. Yeah, so we already, without knowing it, we already have a bag, right? But without thinking, we say yes for the plastic bag because we're not thinking, right? So actually, I'm just going to show you the bags that I have. So we have these bags. Can you guys tell what this is made out of? Okay, newspaper. And that's recycled, right? And we have a project with the women in the mountains called Mountain Mamas. And we empower the local women to produce alternative bags from pre-loved material. So, for example, with students, where we actually show them, how easy. There's a lot of innovative things out there, but we're definitely looking at the Indonesian youth, so all of you in the room, to really kickstart the alternative discussion even more.
So, thank you. So anyway, this recyclable is more likely elective. So I believe that I have some, I read some news that stated that if you're recycling, that you will produce some smaller piece of trash, right? So we believe that from the very first start, what we do is to reduce, rather than we have to have the single-use plastic and we recycle them. We were there to reduce our use of the plastic bag. So somewhere in the future, we don't have to have the microplastics or something.
Really inspiring, and for those who cannot wait to have the questions for them, we are now open for the first 3 questions from the audiences and participants. And for those who are, the mic please.
One of the most urgent provinces in this for around 3 years, and I haven't seen anything yet related to the the solutions for the plastic bag use in Bali. I mean, like from the society and also from to demand a tighter policy from the government, such as the punishment or maybe the penalty for the plastic bag user, because this is not a joke. Indonesia becomes the second largest in the world, not in the region or something right? So, and also have you considered to work with some the NGO? That's all for me.
All right, thank you for the first. This is my second time saying Philippine president, and I'm quite happy for it. So I'm actually currently in research for startups, and a few months ago I got involved.
Responsibility of the government. I mean, we cannot impose penalty on people because we are no one here. So if the government is the one who have the power to give the penalty, and we only just doing audiences to the government. We talk to the government if we can do this or not. And Malati has done this, and the government of Bali is already banning the plastic bags right now. So also in ASEAN, we believe that the Philippines and the Singapore are also the same. They are currently banning the plastic bags. They are imposing a high tax on plastic bags, and if you want to have the plastic bags, you have to pay some amount of money, and it's not as small as in Indonesia. We only have like 100 rupiah or something, and they have the higher tax imposed. So we believe this kind of situation is effective because Singapore and Philippines are right now facing the same problem as us. They have the very massive amount of plastic bag and single use of plastics, and their marine are also polluted. A movement called Bio. So it is this kind of movement is held by the government, and the government are asking the students to bring their own tumbler and to bring their own food container. Yeah, we call it food container to their school, and so they could reduce the single-use plastic using.
Yeah, I'll just jump onto that first question as well, because it's true like what you said, 3 years in Bali, you've been living here, there's definitely a lack of awareness or a lot of holes to fill still, We've spoken, as a team, we've spoken to 20,000 young people, and we've created 2 educational booklets. Now, what we have experienced is that a simple question like, is plastic good or bad? If you walk into a local estate, all of the students raise their hand and they say, oh, pick me, I know the answer. They say plastic is good. I go to the warung, I take my plastic bag, I go home, I burn it, and it's gone. It's not my problem anymore, right? That's how simple it actually is. So what you have to understand is that education is key, right? It's the change of public mindset, and for me, it starts really in the classroom. Because for us, or for our parents, they've been brought up when plastic was first introduced. So that's an entirely different mindset. So education is really key. There's a lot of awareness, but going to where, what's the where can we actually see impact? Where does that belong? The responsibility of the people or from a punishment of the government? And I have to agree, it's not, I don't think it should be seen as the only way to go is to punish or to create a incentives for people to start wanting to change, right? So making it easier, making the solutions accessible to the people, right? The only reason why we still use plastic, two reasons: it's cheap and it's easy. The reason why plastic is being thrown away, burned, or buried is because there's not a collection system, right? So they're forced to do it because the solution is not accessible. So it's about the government looking into systems which are not new, are not impossible. Around the world, systems work, right? So Indonesia needs to, I think, really look into what systems will work for Indonesia or for Bali. And I think that Bali can be the leading island example for the rest of Indonesia, right? We can focus here where all the movement is happening already.
All right, to the committees, do we still have time?
We didn't understand that to propel an idea forward, one of the biggest challenges was actually funding. And if you ask any startup, so like yourself, if you talk to organizations or self-startups, one of the biggest challenges is funding, which is so frustrating to know that money is a limitation, right? So how we've structured ourselves is definitely depending on private donations or partnerships with people and companies that are like-minded and that share the same vision for a cleaner world. They partner with us and they help fund and financial support through them. So I think those are some great ways, but also, especially for startups, grants. There's so many opportunities out there in the world to do research about which grant is most aligned with your startup vision and applying for them. So doing a little bit more research and digging up what sort of grants are there to help you is definitely a piece of advice that I can share with you today. Okay, there was one more from Sasha? Salsa. Okay, hi. Zero waste lifestyle and the relationships with friends and things like that. So when I started, right, it was me and my sister. That was great because me and my sister are like best friends. But to move forward, lesson number one, team, bringing your friends towards the mission, to bring it towards your vision, right? For me, I think, I can see it also from you strongly believe in it, and this is something that you're passionate about, which is so special, because you will drive it forward yourself no matter what. The only bad thing is that when you lose friends out of it. But one thing that I always say, and what I've seen work for me, is leading by example. So keep going, persistence and commitment is key. And it doesn't matter, you can be the first one in your class, and 5 years forward, you turn up your whole school or your whole village to start being more aware of it. So definitely leading by example. And the zero waste lifestyle, there's a really cool new store in Bali called Zero Waste Bali. So definitely go check that out. It will help you a lot. They have over 200 items that are packageless. And I think the small steps count. I haven't used a plastic bag for 5 years, and I still have, I have friends. But yeah, so I think just leading by example and sticking to it.
Yeah, I want to add something about commitment. So if you're committed by yourself, so you can do it. So no matter what happens outside, you can do it. But then if you're trying to persuade your friends, you can start to make power or something by giving the gift. Like you're giving the steel straw to your friends. So later on, they will use the steel straw or the bamboo straw that's available in the stores. So if you're giving those, later on they will use that and they will not using the single-use straws anymore. So by start giving the gift, if you are thinking that it is so important, giving the gift is the solutions, in my opinion, because it has the power. Thank you.
With our speakers, please rate
on some kind of project that might be contributing also to the environment. So stay tuned. Maybe later on we will give you the news. Just wait for the good news.
Thank you very much for our youth speakers for today. As the title for this session is Inspirational Youth Talk, I would truly hope that all of the people and participants Ladies and gentlemen, please give one more applause to our youth speakers for today. Ladies and gentlemen, I will conclude this session as plastic is the reality that's happening right now. As the youth, we have to be able to change makers. We have to be the change maker who stand up for what we believe. And what Melati Wisen also said before, think outside of the box, persistence and commitment is the key. And also, as what Mr. Fatoni has said before, we need to start reducing, and also we need to change our habit. At last, I will be closing this session as a quote saying, "You're never too young to change the world." Thank you. I will give my time back to the MC. Thank you.
Terima kasih.